People, come on in. 13 minutes to go crazy.
Please come to the sound booth.
Hey, Brian. We'll do the wave and then we do that. I'm so alone. So alone.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. Look at these lights, Perry.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to your Sunday Night Rally!
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the beginning of Week 5, 2017. I'm excited.
This is huge. This is huge. Honestly, this might be the most excited I've seen the crowd all summer long. You guys are crazy. You guys are crazy.
You guys, I want to know, Perry, who's excited for the island this year? They're pretty loud.
People, you've been introduced to your team leaders. I think what we're going to need to do now is we're going to have a wave off.
We're going to have a wave off.
A wave off. So, if I could get the entire blue team to sit down. We need the entire blue team to sit down. And Brian, come over here. Come over here. Come on over here. When we start this way, people, you're going to send it to the back and then send it back this way. Are you ready?
3, 2,
go! Send it, send it.
On the drop.
Send it back, send it back, send it back. All the way back. Oh my goodness. That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Let's try the red team. All right, red team, everybody down. We're going to start it. We want to see you go all the way back and then bring it back. All right, ready?
Send it all the way back and bring it back to the front. Back to the front. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
That was pretty good. That was pretty
good.
I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure which team did better on that one. Brian, let's see if we can create a tsunami wave if we do both teams together, red team and blue team, at the exact same time.
Good idea. We're gonna do both teams. Everybody down. Everybody down.
We're gonna do both teams at the same time, so let's get you all down.
Everybody get down. This time we want to see everybody doing it. Both teams together on our go. Makes it a little bit easier.
Are you guys ready?
3, 2, 1, go!
Go!
Bring it back!
Send it back! Send it back! Send it back!
You want to do the thing?
Roller coaster.
Roller coaster? Yeah.
All right.
All right, people.
We're gonna try something. I need everybody to stand up.
Some of you guys went to the Great Escape this weekend because you're 2-week campers and got to experience some roller coasters. And what we thought is for the rest of you who didn't get to go, we're going to bring a roller coaster right here inside this building.
We are going to do a roller coaster right now. So everybody put on the same. Strap
into that roller coaster, ladies and gentlemen. Strap in and pull that bar down.
You guys are the same roller coaster as us, so whatever we do, you guys are doing as well.
You guys are going to do exactly what we're doing. So,
all right.
Let's get ready to ride this roller coaster.
Now we're going up. We're going up.
Whoa. 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 Whoa.
No.
Whoa. Let's get those hands out. You ready? We're going to go back up for that second round. Whoa. 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 Whoa.
All right, wow.
We arrived. Take that seatbelt off. We made it barely.
One more thing. Is there a red team in the building today?
Brian, they're sleeping out there. They're sleeping. People, where is my blue team?
Wow. Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Let's give the red team one more chance.
One more chance, yeah. Give him a chance.
Right.
Give him a chance.
Is there a red team in the house?
People, we have 20 seconds left to get as loud as possible. I cannot hear you.
I can't hear you. I can't hear
I still can't hear you.
Count down with us. Count down.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
beyond day.
I'm afraid! Alright? You wanna hear me say it? You wanna break me down? Alright, I'm afraid!
Let me assert my firm belief that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Nameless, unreasoning, unjustified terror.
Don't look back, don't look back into the dark. Follow me on down through the shadows. Take my hand as we wade through the shadows. To the end, yeah, to the end, yeah. Follow me down.
Dawned on me. Fear is not real. The only place that fear can exist is in our thoughts of the future. It is a product of our imagination, causing us to fear things that do not at present and may not ever exist. Do not misunderstand me. Danger is very real, but fear is a choice.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sunday night on Word of Life Island 2017. Welcome. Finally, it is here, your week of camp for 2017, and we are so excited. It's going to be a crazy, awesome week of camp. Now, I want to start off tonight by introducing you to some very important people. The first group of people that I want to introduce you to, they are experts at Word of Life Island. They know the ins and the outs. They know about every activity. They know how to have serious fun, and they know how not to get hurt. They are also so close to being graduates of the Word of Life Bible Institute. They are going to go with you everywhere you go all week long. They care about you. They're excited that you're here. And they are your counselors. That's right. There's another group of people here all week long. They are a very important group of people. They are the wheels that make this place turn. They're behind the scenes. They are mowing the grass, guarding the beach, driving the boats, playing and making the music happen. They are cleaning up after you everywhere you go. They are, ladies and gentlemen, the camp crew. They are here all summer long, working here on Word of Life Island to make camp happen for you. So when you see somebody on camp crew this week, give them a high five and say, thank you for making this camp happen, because that's exactly what they're doing. And I don't know, there's another group of people here. They're a small group right now, but they are in charge of all things ridiculous and fun. It is their job to make sure that this week is hilarious and fun and entertaining, and that is it. That's what their whole job is. They are mostly not here, but the two that are here just got free blizzards. Ladies and gentlemen, the program guys. That's right. We got an incredible staff here on Word of Life On, and we also have some incredible activities. So brand new this summer, we have an Escape the Room, all right? I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it's like a room that you go inside and then you have to solve all the puzzles and riddles and you have to find the clues, and eventually you can hopefully escape the room. There's still a cabin in there from last week that hasn't figured it out yet, but you guys will figure it out once they escape from it. It's at Top of the Rock, and here's how it works. Tonight and any night that Top of the Rock is open, you are more than welcome to go up there. It's first come, first serve. If you want to go in the afternoon, you can sign up for a slot at the office, and that way you can guarantee your chance to try and escape the room, all right? It is a brand new activity. It's a ton of fun, so make sure you don't miss out on Escape the Room this week. Also, we have the Ninja Warrior course up on the field with brand new features in it. And Thursday morning, you will have the chance to prove that you are the true Ninja Warrior of Word of Life Island. And the craziest part, we even have an American Ninja Warrior with us all week long. So this will be your chance to try to prove. This will be your chance to prove yourself that you are a Ninja Warrior. All right, so make sure you stop in up at the field and do that. And also, one other thing is, if you have not done the water slide on Word of Life Island before, this is the week for you. This is the week. I want every single person here this week to do the water slide at least one time. You know what? It's free. It doesn't cost any money. And you don't have to pass a swim test to do it. Everybody
can do the water slide. And this is not a normal water park water slide. This is an incredible experience like none other. It's much more dangerous than a typical water park water slide, but it's also much more fun. So make sure you get out there this week and do the water slide. One last thing I want to tell you about as far as activities goes is mountain biking. If you have never gone mountain biking on Word Alive Island, this needs to be the week where you do that. And the problem with mountain biking is, how do you describe how awesome it is? You can't. You got to watch how awesome it is. So see for yourself mountain biking on Word Alive Island. Check. Check.
This is how it's gonna be. This is what you think of me. It's going down like I told you. This is how it's gonna be. I'll be the last man standing here. I'm not going anywhere. It's going down like I told you. I'll be the last man standing here. I'm gonna rock you. I'm gonna rock you. I'm gonna rock you. I'll have you begging for mercy, oh. I'm dangerous. So dangerous. I'm dangerous. So dangerous.
Wow. That was awesome. We even had a dance party getting ready for that video. You never know what's going to happen in the middle of announcements right here. Speaking of dance parties in the middle of announcements, don't forget to stop in at the Snack Shack tonight. Cut. Also, tonight at Top of the Rock, it is Sunday. So, there is $2 ice cream sundaes at Top of the Rock tonight, and it's so good. On a night like tonight, you just need ice cream. You need ice cream. It's good for you to go to sleep with ice cream in your belly on the first night. Also, the coffee house will be open where you could get a coffee, you can get an espresso shot, you can get all kinds of stuff in the coffee house tonight. That will also be open on Top of the Rock. And also on Top of the Rock tonight, the Camp Store will be open, ladies and gentlemen. The Camp Store, where You can get all kinds of awesome Word of Life Ireland gear, anything. Maybe you forgot to bring clothes for tomorrow. No problem. Stop into the camp store. You got everything you need for tomorrow. Camp store. Also, I want to cover 2 things related to tomorrow. Is anybody in here going for Cabin of the Week? That's what I thought. So, if you are going for Cabin of the Week, then make sure tomorrow morning at breakfast, you come dressed up like pirates. Like pirates. If you want to win Cabin of the Week, then tomorrow morning, you better be dressed up like pirates at breakfast, and you better have a cabin cheer. You got to have a cabin cheer, and you got to be dressed up like pirates for breakfast tomorrow morning. All right? So make sure you're dressed up. Also, tomorrow morning is Bible hour after breakfast, so make sure you bring your Bibles because we're going to count every single one and make sure we're going to give away points to whichever team has more Bibles in Bible hour tomorrow, all right? So that's all of our announcements. I want to introduce to you our band that's going to be here all week long, but I want you guys to know a very important thing has happened. A very important thing has happened. Our very own worship leader, Ryan, is engaged to be married. That's right. This guy is going to be married. He's going to be married, but he's also going to be here with us all week long with all the unseen leading us in worship. Make some noise for the unseen. here we are. I know Ryan asked this earlier, but let me ask you guys this real quick because I couldn't see. Who is here on Word of Life Island for the very first time? You've never been here before. Wow, that's awesome. And so everybody else, where's all the veterans at? Like you are Word of Life Island veterans. Let me just ask this. Is there anybody that's here that has never been on an actual island before? Like this is your first time on a real island? A couple. Like big, I'm not talking about like Long Island, like that doesn't count. Like an island where there's no bridges or anything, like a real island. Well, congratulations. You killed 2 birds with 1 stone. Your first time on an actual island and first time at Word of Life Island. Both, knocked off both of those tonight. My name is Tommy, and I'm the director here on Word of Life Island. And so it is like my dream job. I get to be here every week and be a part of this amazing place. And so I want you guys to know a little bit about what we're planning for this week. I want you to know some things you can look forward to and some things that are coming up. And so I'll tell you right here, we want you to have the best week of your summer. That is our end goal. In a lot of different places you go, you know, like there's different plans for you. Our plan for you is that you would leave at the end of this week going, that was the best week of my summer. And I know we are competing against some pretty incredible weeks. And so that's fine. We are not afraid of that challenge. The staff that is here, your counselors, the program guys, the camp crew, we are all excited because we're trying to give you the best week of your summer. And here's some things you can look forward to. First of all, fun. We want you guys to have fun this week. Yes, right? I mean, this would not be a fun week if there wasn't a lot of fun. And so we have literally planned out so many activities. We have planned out some of the craziest activities we could think of. And we have planned all kinds of comedy nights going to be going on, and we've just got all this stuff, and it's just because we want you to have fun. I mean, where else can you go where there is a team of people whose only job is to have fun? I mean, their whole job is so that you guys have fun. So that's something we want you to look forward to this week, and that's going to be a major part in why this will be the best week of your summer, because there is going to be so much fun. Second of all, we want you to look forward to adventure. Like, we are excited that you are here and you are doing something new. Maybe you don't normally spend time in the woods and the rocks with the mosquitoes and all that, you know, that's out here. Maybe this week, the goal for you this week, you want to do something adventurous. Maybe it's going to be doing the high ropes course. I don't know. Where you literally are up in the trees and the trees are swaying and you're hooked into this thing, and then you got to do the zip line at the end of it. Or maybe it's mountain biking. Maybe you saw that video. Maybe you're like sitting there and you're like, you know what? I'm not like really a big biker, but I want adrenaline. I want some adventure, so you can sign up and go on that mountain biking trail this summer. That would give you that adventure. There's all kinds of things. There's paintball here on Word of Life Island. Paintball. And if you're maybe a little not as brave, there's also carpet ball that we have. Yeah. That's like Adventure 101. Adventure 101 is carpet ball. We also this week have a special group of people here that are learning how to wakeboard. That's right, they are learning how to wakeboard. We even have professional wakeboarders here teaching them how to wakeboard. And and not you. You are not a professional wakeboarder. Anyways, there's tons of opportunity for adventure, and we want you guys to have an adventure because that's a way that this is going to be the best week of your summer. The third thing, though, that you can look forward to, and the third reason why this is going to be the best week, is because we want you to learn about God. And that's the one where I know maybe that's the one that you're sitting there, and of those three things, I just said it was the most important, but it's like the third one on your list. Like, you want to have a lot of fun and adventure and like learning about God. Maybe right now, actually, there's some of you in here who feel like you've been tricked. Like your friend said, come to this fun place where there's adventure, and they left that one off, right? And so you just got here, and you're like, what is going on? Like these people are singing, and then we prayed. Maybe you're confused by all that. Or maybe you're here, and you came here because you want to have fun, and you're not as excited to learn about God. But I know there's also a lot of you here who are really pumped up to learn about God this week, and to grow closer to Him. And that's awesome. That's awesome. Let me say this. No matter where you're at on learning about God, whether you are not sure about that or you're really pumped up, let me just say that will be an important part of this week. I promise every single one of you in here, no matter where you're at, that will be an important part of this week. We're going to be talking all week long about fearless. That's our theme for this week. And when we sat around as the camp staff and we said, man, we want to talk about something that like kids want to hear about, right? Like we don't want to just, we can come up with ideas all day long, but what is an idea that the students that come to Word of Life Island are going to actually care about? We don't want to just talk about stuff. We want to talk about something that you guys really care about. And we realized this generation is facing fear in their lives more than any other generation. Like there is real fear affecting every single one of you. I don't know, we could go around the room tonight and probably each and every one of you could stand up and say something that you are afraid of, or multiple things that you're afraid of. Some of you are so afraid of failure. You're so afraid of not making it. You're afraid of breaking down and falling apart, and you're afraid of letting somebody down in your life, and that's a real fear. Some of you are so controlled by what people think of you, and you are so afraid that somebody's going to think of you, like think poorly of you, or think that you are like less of a person, and so you are so controlled by trying to look good and trying to keep up this image. That's fear. You are afraid of what people think of you. And others of you are afraid of the real threat that is in this world, that's danger, like the threat of something terrible happening to you. Unfortunately, we live in a society and in a day where you can't go to the mall anymore and just feel like safe. You got to be constantly in the back of your mind. It's like, is today the day that it happens at our mall? Is today the day that it happens in our airport? Is this the day that somebody drives their car through the crowd of people that I'm in? Like, that is real. And so we were looking at and saying, man, fear's a real thing. But it's also something that God cares a lot about. So we're going to talk about fearless this week. We're going to go on a journey, all right? Every morning we're going to be together in here. We're going to take time as a group, and we're going to talk about fear. And then at night we're going to do some really cool things. Sometimes we'll have a message. We have a movie one night, and we have a question and answer one night. So we're going to do kind of some different things. But all week long we're going to be talking about fear. And more specifically, how to be fearless. Because we don't want to spend all of our time just like talking about fear, because that doesn't really get us anywhere. What we want to talk about is how to be fearless. And so I'm excited that this week, every one of you will have the opportunity to learn how we conquer our fears. But I'm not going to really get too far down fearless tonight. What I want to do is I want to make sure we're all kind of on the same page and we have this understanding, because I know that there's a lot of different backgrounds in here. I know there's a lot of different personalities and different homes that you came from, and so I know that some of you are in here tonight and this is the first time you've ever really been in a thing like this. And so what I don't want to happen is for us just to kind of like go down the road of the journey we're going to be on, and there be some of you who are unsure of what's happening. Like, how many of you just now, like, I know there's a lot of you who just said this is your first time on the island, and so like when I said, and I'm not going to say it but I said these certain two words, and it's a place where they sell food out of at Top of the Rock, and I think you guys know what I'm talking about, and everybody like stood up and started clapping and doing this thing. Like, yeah, see, that's what everybody starts doing. How many of you who this is your first time, were like, what's going on right now? Like That's a legitimate thing. Like, you were like, I'm soaking, thank you. My man over there being honest right now. He was like, what is going on? There was a good percentage of the room that knew exactly what was happening. You've been looking forward to that. But there was another part of the room that had no clue, and they were confused. My man over there was probably like, I missed something, right? Like, I want to know where I go to get food, and everyone's is just randomly like standing up and clapping all of a sudden now. So what I don't want to happen, I don't care if that happens with that song, but what I don't want to happen is for you to feel that way about what's happening when we get together in here. Because this is really the important part of what we're doing. Like the silly songs that we play and the craziness of the activities, like you'll figure that out, but and I don't want you to have to like try to figure this out. I want to make sure that we all know what's going on. We're all on the same page. First of all, the first thing you need to know is we're going to talk about the Bible. Every single time we get together in here and for a meeting, we are going to open up this book called the Bible, and we're going to talk from it. So I want you to understand a couple things about the Bible. It's actually a compilation of a lot of books. All right, and they're all like pushed together into this one book. It's called the Bible. That's what you've heard about. It's the best-selling book of all time. Like, I can't imagine there's anybody in here that's never heard of the Bible before. And it's full of books, and they have names. Like, I'm in Matthew right now, and here's the book of Psalms. You've probably heard of that one, and Genesis. Those are the names of the books that are inside of the book, the Bible. All right, and so we're going to talk about this. You're also going to hear us call it other things, like it's called the Bible, but we also call it God's Word a lot, or we'll call it the Scriptures. So there's like some of those other words that we use, and every time we're talking about this book right here, the Bible. And the reason why we're going to talk about this book so much, more than any other thing that we're going to do in here, is talk about the Bible. First of all, is because it's God's Word. Literally, like we're not just like saying that. It is literally God's words. God used the authors that wrote these books. He used them. He inspired them. Like he guided them on what to write. And so as they wrote, it was as if God was writing to us. God, the person who created this entire world, that created life, that created me, used these guys to write stuff down to communicate with me. That's a pretty big deal. So that's why one of the reasons why we're going to talk about this book every single time we get together in here is because we want to talk to God who created everything. And we want to hear what he said to us. So we're going to look in the Bible. The second reason is we're going to look at this book because it's true. And you guys understand like why this is a big deal, because in today's society, we're constantly faced with the question, is this real or not? Like every time you're looking, like this happens to me all the time. I'm scrolling through my feed on my, whatever, and I see this incredible picture, and you know what I have to ask myself every time? Is this real or not? Like, is this just a fake photo? Like somebody photoshopped this? Like I'm no longer just able to believe when I see something that looks incredible and know it's true. I have to ask myself, and then like if it's too beautiful, then I assume it's fake, right? You guys understand? Or what about everything that's going on with fake news right now? Like fake news is crazy. There's like more fake news articles that show up in my feed than there are real things. And you guys know, like I'm sure you've experienced this, where you are reading through the news articles and you see something that seems outrageous. What do I assume now? It must be fake. It must be fake. Like the world has slanted my view now, and so I automatically assume if it's crazy, it's probably fake. And the boring ones are the real ones. And it's so embarrassing, right? Like nobody wants, it happened to me the other day. I read a headline on Facebook that somebody had posted, and I thought it was real. And I was like, I believed it. And then when I found out it was fake, I was so embarrassed. I was like, how did I do that? Like, that's what my mom does. She believes these things, not me. I'm good enough to know, but I believed it. And it was embarrassing. And so wouldn't it be like, if there was one website that we could go to every single time and we knew that no matter what, that everything that was on there was automatically true, and we never had to try to figure it out? That would be the number one place where we would go for news. Like I would choose that. I don't want to have to try to figure out what's real and what's fake. And so in the same way, that is why we're going to take this book right here and we're going to open it up and talk about it every time we're together, because it's true. There's nothing in here that's fake. There's nothing that we have to try to read and then figure out, well, wait, is this fake? Is this just a made-up thing? Did somebody just try to, did they just put this story in here to try to get me to read it? No, everything that is in here is true because it's from God. He has given us these words, these books, and they're all absolutely true. We know that because the Bible has proven itself to be true time and time again. It's not just me. You don't have to take my word for it. You can study this book and you will find that it is true. And so because it's true, we're going to talk about it. We're not going to worry about having to figure out what's true or false. We're not going to try to trick you with stuff. We're only going to talk about this book, and it's true all the time. The third thing is it's written for us. It's written for you specifically. God knew that you were going to be here on this earth, and he knew that you were going to have questions. He knew that there was going to be things that didn't make sense to you. He knew that you were going to need some help. And so what he did is he inspired those men to write this book, and then he made sure that you had a chance to read it. He made sure that you, sitting here this week, had the opportunity to read this book and to know, as if God was speaking to you, to give you this truth. So that's why we're going to read it. It's because it's written for you. It's written for me. It's written for all of us to be able to read and understand. It's not just for select people. It's not just for pastors or priests. It's for every single one of us. So we're going to open up this book and we're going to read it. I want you to know, too, this book is primarily about one person. His name's Jesus. And I don't know where you're at with Jesus. And maybe to some of you, he's just a statue, like in Rio, right? The big statue down there. That's Jesus. Maybe that's what you know of Jesus. Others of you, maybe all you know is it's something that people say when they get angry or upset. They say Jesus' name. Maybe you know that there's holidays like Christmas and Easter that are about Jesus. Maybe some of you know Jesus and you actually have a real relationship with him. I know there's a lot of different people in here tonight in where you're at with who Jesus is. So again, just like with the Bible, I want to make sure we all have an understanding. I want you guys to make sure we're all on the same page with who Jesus is. And for some of you, I want you to understand and introduce you to who Jesus actually is. Because he's way more than just a statue in Brazil. He's way more than a word that people say when they're upset. He's a real person. And this book is about him. Some of the books in here are literally about him. Like guys who followed him around and wrote down what Jesus did while he was alive on earth. Other books in here are written about him coming. And they are telling the world that Jesus is coming. There's a lot of different ways, but this book constantly points to the person of Jesus. So again, I don't want to be long tonight, but I just want to introduce you to who Jesus is with one simple story. With one story. It's in the book called Matthew. It was written by a guy named Matthew, and he was a person who followed Jesus around. All right, so Jesus, when he was here on earth, there was a group of guys that realized there was something different about Jesus. And they realized there was something so different about who Jesus was, that he was not just a regular guy. They realized there was something different, and so they actually quit their jobs. They quit their life. They dropped everything. Some of them literally were standing at work and dropped what they were doing and followed after Jesus. They wanted to, and I'm not talking about Twitter follow or Instagram follow. They were literally actually following him around as he walked. They were walking behind him. They were following Jesus because they knew there was something different, and they wanted to figure out what it was, how they could be a part of it. Sometimes you'll hear people call them the disciples because they were wanting to come under the discipleship of Jesus. Like Jesus was their teacher, and they wanted to be in that program. So sometimes we call them the disciples, but they were the group of people who followed Jesus around. And so this book, Matthew, is one of those people who follow Jesus around all the time. And so in the Bible, in this book of Matthew, he's tells the whole story of everything that happened as he followed Jesus around. And this particular story that he tells is in the book of Matthew, chapter 8. and it's in verse 23. I'm going to put it up here on the screen so you guys can read it off of there. Let me give you a little bit of context before I put it up there. So, again, these people are following Jesus around everywhere he goes. They're trying to learn from him. They're trying to figure out what's different about him. And so Jesus, he's always going and he's teaching people, and he does these incredible miracles. But at this time, they're done, and they're crossing over a lake. And so here's what it says. Jesus got into a boat, and his followers went with him. So the followers, those are the people we were just talking about. They went with him. A great storm arose on the lake so that waves covered the boat. But Jesus was sleeping. His followers went to him and woke him, saying, "Lord, save us, we will drown." And Jesus answered, "Why are you afraid? You don't have enough faith." Then Jesus got up and he gave a command to the wind and the waves, and it became completely calm. The men were amazed and said, "What kind of man is this? Even the wind and the waves obey him." Remember, this is a true story. This is actually what happened. Matthew, who was a real guy, who had a real job, who left that job to follow after Jesus, gives us this story and tells us what's happening here. And so, like I said, these guys have been following Jesus around and teaching, and so they decide, okay, we got to get to the other side of this lake. They climb into a boat, and they start going. Jesus is tired. He falls asleep, and these guys are probably sailing across, and all of a sudden, this crazy storm comes up. And to this day, you can go to the lake where they were on in Israel, and it is famous for having crazy storms that pop up because of the way the mountains are and the valley and the wind and everything. And so these storms come up out of nowhere. And so that's what happens to these guys. These guys are going across this body of water, this lake. It's a little bigger than this lake, but it's still a lake. And all of a sudden, this storm comes up, and it's crazy. I mean, the waves are coming up to the sides of the boat, and to the point like water is coming into the boat. You don't have to be a genius to know that if water is inside of the boat and outside of the boat, that you're in trouble. Like, as the water comes up in the boat, then you're sinking. And these are grown men who, many of them spent, their job was fishermen. So these guys are not like rookies on the lake, but they're scared to the point where it says that we're going to drown. Like, the boat is going to sink, and that's going to be it. There's crazy storm, and they ultimately realize, and the question I have, like, Jesus is asleep in the midst of all this. Like, there's two groups of people, one scared for their lives and the other one asleep in the boat. Kind of crazy, but they go and they wake Jesus up. And they say to him, like, "Lord, do something. We're gonna drown." And he says, what does he say? He says, "Don't be afraid." He says, "You don't have enough faith." And then he gets up. I think, and at least how I picture it, like, he climbs up onto the bow of the boat, the front, and he says, "Be calm." And what happens? The wind stops instantly, and the waves that were just 1 second ago getting ready to crash up one more time and go into the boat, those waves completely stop. He did a miracle, something that only he could do, right? Like, no one else in here has that ability. Like, we can't control that. But Jesus, because he was somebody special, he climbed onto the bow and he said, "Peace, be still, be calm." And the wind and the waves obeyed him. And he probably went back to the boat and fell back asleep. But the disciples, the guys who were following Jesus, the men were amazed. Rightfully so. This guy controlled the lake, and he controlled the wind. And it says they said, "What kind of man is this? Even the wind and the waves obey him." So here's what I want to tie this in to your life this week. Because I know that there are a lot of you here, probably actually, if we're totally honest, every single one of you have storms going on in your life. You've got things that are happening back home. You've got circumstances that you left behind. I don't know what's going on with your family. I don't know what's going on with your parents. Or maybe there's stuff going on with your siblings. Or maybe there's drama where you work or your friends. Maybe your relationship, your boyfriend, girlfriend is falling apart. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure if we're all honest with ourselves, we can look, and there are storms that are happening in our lives. And I think there's probably some of you in here tonight that are like these guys. where you're looking at the size of the waves in your life and you're going, I don't know if this is going to work. I feel like I'm going to drown. Like if nothing changes, if the things keep happening the way that they're happening right now, it's over for me. The water is too much. It's coming inside of the boat, and it's going to be done. Maybe some of you're not there. The storms haven't got that big in your life yet. But there's still something that is happening. There's something that's going on. And this week, God has brought you here. Now, I know technically, like, probably your parents brought you here, or your youth leader, or a bus driver. Somebody, like, physically brought you here. But I believe, and so do the staff here, that God had a plan to bring you here this week. And he put circumstances and things into your life, and he's brought all of you here this week. And you know what? He's taking you out of that storm. He's taking you away from those things that are crashing into the side of your boat, and he's brought you here for a week. He's brought you into the calm, into the peace. And I'm not talking about literally a calm place, right? Like, you guys were all in here at the beginning of this, and it was not calm. It was crazy and wild. But I'm talking about the circumstances in your life and the things that are distracting to you, the things that keep you awake at night, the questions that you have as you go through the day, the things that are weighing heavy on your heart. He's brought you away from those things for this week to this island that is fun and adventure, but it's a place that is calm. And so my challenge to you, would you look to Jesus this week and realize how amazing he is? Just like these guys that were following Jesus around did. Just like it says right here, when they realized, what kind of man is this? Even the wind and the waves obey him. You know what? It's because they were amazed by that. You're here this week. You're in the calm. Would you take this time and have a ton of fun? Do adventures, but more than anything else, would you take this time and would you look to who Jesus is? No matter where you're at in who Jesus is to you, whether you have a relationship with him and you know him, or you're here tonight and this is the first time you ever realized that he was a real person, and everybody in between there, no matter where you're at this week, make this week about looking to Jesus. Learn about him this week, because he's the only one that controls the physical waves and controls the spiritual waves in your life. He's the one who can provide calm, like he has done for you this week already. Let me pray for you guys, and then we're going to be done with the night. God, we love you so much, and we're so thankful for this place where we can have a ton of fun, where we can go on adventures, but most importantly, Lord, we're thankful for this place because it is a place that we can learn about you, where we can have a relationship with you, where we can worship you, where we can pray to you. And God, I pray that this week you would do a work in this camp, in every single heart in here, God. Those that you don't have a relationship with yet, Lord, I pray that this week would be a life-changing week for them as they come to know you. And those tonight, Lord, that do have a relationship with you, as they go through this week, I pray that this week would be a spiritually refreshing week for them, that they would grow closer to you than they ever have before, that they would know you better, and they would love you deeper than they ever have before. Lord, I pray that you would do a work in this camp this week, and Lord, at the end, we will look to you and we'll give you the praise and the glory, because it's the only way that this is possible, is by your power. We'll give you the glory for it, Lord. We're so thankful. God, we're also thankful tonight for ice cream, and that we can enjoy it on top of the rock tonight. I pray that you would be with these students this week, keep them safe and healthy, help them to have a blast. I ask these things in your name. Amen. All right. Don't forget, Sunday on top of the rock. Everything else is going to be up and going up there. You guys are awesome. Have a great night. You are dismissed.